Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Capes and Lunatics. I am Phil, and as promised, another episode with another special guest. This time, I have Mr. Motoki. I'm sorry, I forget your last name.
Tomatsu.
Tomatsu. Yes, and we're here to talk about your new book. Is it
Kiva.
Kiva?
Yeah.
Yes, Kiva. So. Yeah, I got the email and I got the preview of the first issue. It looks very interesting. So it's based around like the real world event from 2011 with the Fukushima reactor and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a it's a actual kind of a story about the pet dog that left behind after the like a nuclear disaster. And I kind of found that article about that, and then it's a true story. And there's so many dogs that left behind, and they had to all survive. And some people they're trying to rescue those dogs. They went out there. Some dogs are chained because in the Japanese, um, a lot of the countryside in Japan, they don't like it. I mean, my house was too. Like it just we didn't have a dog inside of a house. We had a dogs on the outside,
Mm.
and then oftentimes we chain the dog so that so the dog doesn't go anywhere. And then kind of there's some dogs that they left behind, in the situation that they're chained outside, and but there's always the people who love their pets and then they try to help rescue and all that stuff. There's a beautiful, but very like heartbroken stories out, that I found in the article, and that was kind of a big inspiration for that story.
So were you just like I'm a big animal fan? I'm a big fan of animals, and this story needs to be told.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And also, um, I always before I read the article, I had this like another idea of the dog about the dog, and it's kind of a being free and then being independent, so kind of a this original idea of the dog story, and then just the article that I read, I kind of combined it together, and then okay, this is I think it's gonna work out pretty well. Yeah.
Hmm. So is this your first comic work, or have
Yeah.
you?
So
Okay.
I'm a producer for the and so I've been always like making the video contents and stuff like that. But this is my first time to make a comic book, and I of course grew up. I'm from Japan, and I grew up with manga when I was since when I was super little. But I never actually made one anything on myself. And this story Kiba was made for actually like sort of like a TV series
Hmm.
that when I first came up with this. But then like it's actually I always wanted to do like a live action, so like but then having the actual dogs in the movies and things like that, it's gonna cost a lot of money. So
Oh yeah.
I pitched it to the other studios, and they all like that idea, but it's kind of almost impossible to make because it's gonna cost a lot of money. So I kind of turned my idea 180 degree, and then why don't we just do like more like a anime, manga, a comic type of stuff, and which was I found very interesting, and then it was a very fresh new like uh new journey to me because you know because a comic book essentially you have to come up with the stories and you need to write, and then you are the casting directors and you are the character designer. I don't draw, but it's just
Mhm.
else, the this guy named Bashar Ahmad. He's my artist, and he draws very well. He makes a fantastic art. But then, you involve them. We give them ideas. What set up dogs, and so that's a lot of involved. And it was very interesting procedure, and then I really liked it.
Yeah, I've heard like producing a comic is such its own original animal. Like it's so different from any like making a movie or a television show or any other creative project.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, like not so much about the American or European comic book artists, but the Japanese manga artists. They might have assistants, but they don't have any color list, or they don't have a
Mm,
artist. They're the artist, they're the writer. Then so
mm.
a lot of time like they have to do like all kinds of stuff like the casting, styling, and drawing, and writing, and it's interesting. It's an interesting procedure for sure. Yeah.
I mean, did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy the experience? Would you like?
Oh, I really liked it. Yeah, I wish I could do this forever. But
I was going to say, would you do another graphic novel or
yeah,
anything?
we
Or?
have a volume number two for Kiba. I mean, like so
Mm,
the book is supposed to come out at the end of October. But then the hurricane. It's coming through out of a Scout comic, and but then the hurricane, the last super hurricane, kind of had a lot of effect on the Florida. And so the printer company is kind of shut down, and the Scout comic is shut down. So we kind of had to push it a little bit,
mhm,
uh, but then I want to see like once it's come out and then see the people's reaction. Then if the people want it, then I definitely want to make a volume two, which I already have a story,
mhm.
so just need to make one. Yeah.
So do you have a definite plan for how long you want how long the story is, or if the
Yes,
reaction is good, or I mean, will you continue it, or did
yes,
you
like I have
continue?
a six issue. It's already written, and it's gonna come out. Like like a couple months, but um, we have another six issues that which has not been completed, but it's already like written. So yeah, I'll definitely like once the first volume went well goes well, then I would definitely want to make a second volume for sure. And then my I think the next step is I want to take it to the studio and then see if they
Mm,
someone is interested to make animation, because I mean we all know that indie comics don't make much money,
mhm.
but but it's a great medium. It's a very creative art. It's beautiful format, and so I like to kind of explore what kind of other like, using the IP from the comic, take it to the bigger studios, or even though for my case, I might be able to take it to Japan and see if they are interested, like American style comic book in Japanese, like animation, industry over there. So, I would definitely want to do experiment about a couple of different ways.
Yes, I mean, I think the market is it's the best time ever for they're always looking to adapt graphic novels and comics and manga and everything into different medias anymore.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah. But actually, I have to say, the last I just went to a comic book convention in Los Angeles. I've never been to any of the comic convention before in my life, and I was pretty shocked, like how massive.
Oh yeah.
And then even I went to the artist alley, and then I would just talk to like a couple artists, and the way they prepare all this table and all this merchandise, and like not just the books but the art, and like there's so much involved. And I was like, shoot, this is that's a lot of competition out there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
It's a
god.
it's a good time. I mean, there's so much variety and choice anymore. But yes, there is. I mean, there's so much competition for
Do
people
you
to
go
find.
to the convention a lot?
I've been to some of the smaller ones. I've never been to like the really big ones, but yes, I mean, I've talked to several people. Yeah, I mean, they all used to be small. They used to just focus on the comics, but now you have so much, now there's movies and just
Yeah,
every yeah, and there's so many different companies and people doing their own comics. So,
yeah, that's crazy, right? Like,
mhm,
and then
mm,
there's a lot, like, I mean, I don't know. It's a Comic Con. I guess it's a big stuff. So there's like a video game and all
yeah.
that. It's like everything is all combined in that kind of a world. And it was kind of, to be honest, I was very intimidated, and I was kind of exhausted.
Yeah, I don't know how any of the smaller companies or just the people doing it on their own do it because it's just some of there's big companies doing that. And I
I
don't know
know.
how you compete with that.
Yeah, yeah.
So for Kiva, did you know anyone personally who went through the or did you talk to anyone or did you just do research or
Yeah, so we did a lot because I mean, I again, like I'm a producer, so I don't mind like contacting people and trying to think of who to go about this kind of stuff. And so we tried a few things. I mean, first what I did is I asked around if there anybody who that my friends or someone I know that who actually has been in the industry or who has made the comic books before, graphic novels type of stuff. I asked around. And second, I kind of did the research of what kind of like publishing companies out there that, you know, I already had ideas. And then I, contacted, and then also, the third thing that I did was like, kind of a finding the right team members. So I write, but I'm not a professional writer, so I needed help for kind of a just writing, kind of a polished writing, screenplay format type of stuff. And then I had my my friend Yumiko, and she's also my writing partner, help me out. And also I have this artist, great artist. I found him on online like Art Station. That he does like a both comic and manga type of style art, and then it's got really good sense of artistic stuff. And so I found him, and I also found a really good like a colorist that who can do not just a comic book style, but at the same time more like a kind of a very subtle, like a kind of a more Japanese, like a Ghibli type of coloring, and then which I liked. And so we found a team, and we made a sample, like maybe 10 pages teaser, and then we made the pages with character descriptions and like synopsis and all that. And then we sent it out to all this publishing companies. And there's a couple of companies that they were interested, but they wanted to read all this like a full book, not just the 10 pages. So so that okay, so maybe I sent 10, and we got maybe responses 3 out of 10, and there were somewhat interested. But what I really helped me was that I when I asked around my friend, and one of my friend, he has published the graphic novel before, and then I sent the material to him, and he was interested,
Hmm.
and he connected me with the couple publishing companies that he knew,
Hmm.
and one of them was a Scout comic, and then who showed the interest, and that's how we started it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Nice. Yeah, I'm always interested in the background, like how this is made, because I
yeah,
love
because everything is
comics.
miracle. It's
Yeah,
like yeah, movies, comics, it's different scales, but like it's just like you trying to make something from nothing. And
yeah. Hmm.
you need, because I'm sure you understand, but I don't know anybody here that can make doing that. So I personally didn't know any publishing company, or I have no network. So it's just like you have to try every single thing that you could, and you never really know like what's but I don't know. I mean, I guess the people's power is probably the most strong. Like if you know someone, or if your friends know somebody, that's the friends introduction or referral is always the best.
Like I've heard a lot of people, like there's a lot of online communities that are very helpful to each other
Oh yeah.
for comics and manga. Like I know a lot of people just publish their by themselves through Kickstarter, but they said that like the comic book Kickstarter community is so supportive. Like they'll be like, well, if you like my book or you like this book, well, maybe you'll like this, this other person's book, or
Yeah,
there's a lot of yeah, sharing the promotion and everything.
yeah. Have you, so you have published your books as well, or that's
No, 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 no. I've talked to many people whove published, but no, I've not published myself.
uh what is your background though? Like what's the what do you like are you in the comic book
Oh
industry?
yeah, I've been a lifetime comic book fan.
Uh,
Yes, so that's yes, that's I do many podcasts, and most of them are about comic books, old ones, new ones. When they when they do the movies and all that. So
yeah, 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 that's cool. How many comics you read a week?
that's probably it's probably between like 15, 20 a week at least. The new stuff, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Like yeah, like I'm waiting for the actual physical book comes out, but I, like I love to go to the stores and talk to the, like a bookstore people, and
Mhm.
just maybe do a size like a signing or something like that.
Oh
Just
yeah.
yeah, I just want to know like exactly when it's gonna come out.
Oh, you don't know. You don't know when it's coming.
I
Yeah.
mean, it was supposed to be a third week of
Oh yeah,
October, but
because
I
of the
just got an email about the hurricane stuff, and I mean, this I can't really blame on the nature.
no, no. But yeah, I think there's still stores that love for writers and artists and everyone that come in and sign. So yeah,
Yeah,
if you have a nice store near you, they might, or a few. I mean, I'm sure there might be a couple that might,
yeah,
because
right,
the stores are always looking for promotions these days. Like the comic shops always looking for events to drive traffic to their stores and stuff.
yeah. Uh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, yeah. Well, let's see how it goes. But this is definitely it's been an interesting journey. And we're going to San Diego Comic Festival next month, I think. Oh no, no, sorry, end of this month. And like I wanna start getting into like step by step. Just get used to be interviewed and just talk to talk about my book because I never really done it before in my life.
Mhm.
I'm always behind the camera kind of guy. So
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
but you have enjoyed this. Would you consider doing a second book after Kiva? Something, like another?
I mean I have definitely some ideas, after Kivas but I'll be let's see how it goes because I definitely want to finish the Kiva like with a volume two and then just kind of make it as a full story. Um, and I'm also like I've been working on like a script, like a movie script and stuff like that. So
Mm.
I've been working on that, and so that's just everything like it's always a multiple things at the same time, and yeah, there's a lot of a lot of stuff that I need to work on after Kiba, to be honest.
So I'm always interested in the backstory of how these things get made. So like how many hours a day do you commit to working on the book?
It's a good question because for me, I'm not again. I'm producing the most of the time, and then I have I run the small production company in LA. So most of my day is consumed for that. Like every day, like running, like running the business and producing the projects. But I'm trying to save like at least 2 hours a day for me to come in just to make sure to keep up even but when I have time I work like at least like a half day but when I don't have time like at least like an hour or two every day. That's but that's not enough. So I'm right now actually I'm in the turning kind of a point that I have to probably like do much less producing and just put more time on the writing and but at the same time I need to think about how to make money as well to make
Yeah,
so
yeah,
that's always the balance, right?
yeah. Yeah, I say most people who do like their own comics and stuff have like other jobs and
Yes, yeah,
other, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So on the producing side, like what did you say you produce television or?
I do produce the mainly for the commercial TV commercials, for a lot of commercials for Japan, like with the Japanese brands, like I don't know if like the Toyota or that type of like a Japanese brands that kind of made it to the global market. Like a Uniqlo, that's a apparel company.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a things like that. We make a commercial for, and I've done documentary films, like a couple of feature film documentaries. Like one is a boxer. This that boxer name like Vasily Lomachenko that we filmed a couple of years ago. I mean, 3 4 years ago. And I also made a documentary that it's about this guy that who I don't know. It's about this kind of a card game that very is a mysterious documentary film, and then its story. We had a William Dafoe involved. There's the actor William Dafoe, and so we did a couple of documentaries produced, and there's a bunch of short films like art videos, experimental videos type of stuff.
So, do you just do commercials over there, or have you done
I'm
commercials
sure in
over here?
most of my commercial I've done in the States.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
I was
but
gonna say.
with the Japanese brands. Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I was gonna say, is there any difference between how they do commercials here and there, or is it all
Well,
basically?
America is more like it's because of, they have you guys have a foundation with union and stuff, so they have a more like, okay, this guy needs expert for this job, but in Japan it's like, okay, if you have a free if you have a free hands, can you help that too? I mean, they kind of help,
Hmm.
but here it's like, okay, if, I'm a electrics, so I'm not touching that, because
Hmm.
it's a beyond my job, kind of stuff. It's more like a kind of a, I don't know,
Yeah,
structure in here,
yeah.
to be honest.
Hmm.
And it's more expensive here, a
Mm,
lot expensive. But in terms of the making it, I think American production is a more like black and white. Like it's okay, so this is how much we have, and this is how much money the clients approved. So it's very clear. But sometimes Japanese job is like, okay, so we start the job without having the clear understanding of the budget.
mm,
So like, oh, when we started, and then we'll find out, okay, we don't have that much money. Like, we have to shrink all the scale. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So it's I don't know. I'm so used to that kind of stuff, but I think it's a bit I don't know. Here is more like a bit more structure, I think.
mm.
Yeah.
But it's just more expensive.
Yeah, it gets everything. Yeah, it gets expensive. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard even like shooting television shows, like if
Oh
you
yeah.
get to certain parts of the United States, it's cheaper. Or like I think
Yeah,
some
yeah.
shows go to Canada to shoot some of their stuff. That's
Yeah, we developed a couple shows for the American network. They just definitely go, we're about shooting the like what do you call, they call a proof of concept. Like we shooting the Texas is cheaper than California, tax and everything, and then the crews are more up to, LA is like, the film is like or TV is like a kind of a business. Like, okay, or but Texas, there's some people that are more excited about the actual, like the being the commercial and the video, or
mm,
I mean the TV series and stuff like that. So there's just, you can find more people with less expensive, I think.
mm, okay.
But LA, New York, they're so used to like having the films, and then the locations are
Yeah.
ridiculously expensive, and everybody is so used to get paid a lot. That's why the people go out of California and then go other states to film these days. Again,
Mm.
LA is very slow.
Yeah, because there's a lot of some of the states, like if it's not LA or it's not California or New York, then I think they do like tax credits too and
Yeah,
things. Yeah.
yeah. Like California doesn't have that kind of stuff. Yeah. But yeah, just that's kind of my daily like work production type of stuff.
So then you just come home and work on Kiva then after your.
I tend to work in the morning. Like I
Oh,
work,
in the morning. Okay.
yeah, because I have a kids and they drop off at
Yeah.
school, and then it's pretty early, so I have like a few hours in myself, and I just work on that in the morning. If I miss that morning, then it's really hard for me to catch up later in the day, because it's kind
Yeah.
of tons of stuff happening, and it's a different part of brain that you have to use, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like when you do the producing, can you keep working at certain hours, or are you getting calls at all times of the day and night?
Uh, well, especially if I work with Japanese clients,
Oh yeah, the time difference.
like the time difference and stuff. I mean, I work with American clients and Japanese clients, so
Mhm.
it's just like the time is kind of sometimes messed up. But I'm trying to keep it like, I don't want to take any call after 11 o'clock or something like that.
Mhm.
But still, I go up to 11. I take a meeting at the up to 11. That's my thing.
So I was gonna say, yeah, we were originally we were talking about doing this later. I was like, wonder if you, so maybe you have work or something, because yeah, I didn't even,
Oh, like Friday is yeah, I'm trying to save that Friday evening, like just kind of a nice and peaceful, because I mean
good for you.
yeah,
Yes, yes,
I need like a just Friday is my happiest moment.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and it's nice to have a podcast like this. I could just Friday is the most relaxing day. I mean, it's not relaxing up to now, but the evening is the most relaxing time. So, which is my favorite.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you planning to go to any like a comic book festival? Like, are you interested? Is there anything?
I don't know if this year, maybe next year, maybe planning to do a few. I know me and my co-host went to one. It was a few hours from here this summer.
What is it called?
It's Hershey Con. It's in Hershey, Pennsylvania. It's by Hershey Park. Like where they make all the chocolate and stuff. Yeah,
Oh wow, Hershey.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
super
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
I was looking up. I was like interested in how many conventions out there. There's so many conventions.
Hmm.
And then almost like every I mean, it's a convention from the big and medium and the smalls, and
Hmm.
I didn't know even just the Los Angeles or California itself has so many conventions. I only hear like about the Comic Con and all the big stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many.
Oh yeah, I think every state has one now. I mean, the Hershey Con was nice. I think they've only been doing it for 4 or 5 years. It was in like a Holiday Inn. Like I haven't seen like a regular big Holiday Inn. They usually have the smaller ones anymore, but they
Mhm.
had a couple ballrooms and they had like comic book writers and artists as guests, but they also had like vendors in the halls, like people selling comics, or like I saw people who had like written novels and stuff, just
Oh, that's cool.
like selling their books and stuff. Yeah, so it was smaller, but yeah, it was very nice.
Phil? What's the definition of? I mean, what's what's the difference between graphic novels and a comic book?
I would you probably get a bunch of answers. I would say graphic novels are usually the big big page count.
Right,
Yeah, the regular comics are usually just like the small, just the
right,
yeah,
right. But like the my book probably gonna do the first issue is gonna come like with those like small skinny stuff. I mean the
yeah.
skinny book, but from after that I think they're gonna do like what do you call trade.
Yeah, trade paperback where they collect
That's
them
not
on
graphic
yeah,
novel. That's still a comic book, but that's with all
yeah, yeah.
yeah I think yeah.
Yeah, it's just the different formats. It's like you have different issues, but yeah, if they do the trade paperback, they'll put like 6 issues in one volume. Because again, some people go to their comic shop every week and buy the single issues. Some people wait until it comes out in the trade paperbacks and just buy the whole story at once.
But if you wanna do a graphic novels, who are you gonna go with? Like, I mean, who are you gonna go to? You go to the publishing company, like
Yeah, I mean, again, I really don't know the behind the scenes, but I think like the publishers, like you can sell to the comic shops, and I think you can go to like Barnes and Noble, and like Amazon you can probably sell it through Amazon also. So there's like multiple ways that you could sell like Kiva. Just yeah, comic shops, Amazon, yeah, Barnes and Noble,
hmm,
yeah.
nice. Yeah. Well,
Or is there any kind of website for the company, or do you have a website where I
yeah,
mean you could
we
probably sell
do.
it direct through a website too, maybe.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like we have made like a kivacomics.com. That's we have that and out there. And then I have also my production company's website.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not sure since you're with Scout Comics, but I know people like will sell their own books through like Kickstarter and stuff,
Yeah.
and people can just like sign up for your Kickstarter and just buy direct through there. And like I know a lot of comic creators will like give incentives, or we're like, oh well, if you different tiers where it's like, okay, if you spend a little more money, throw in a couple of little extras, maybe some like unused art, some art we didn't use, or
And then they also do they yeah. And then I was surprised like from the Comic Con, like they make all this merchandise, like a small thing, the
oh
stickers. That's a lot of effort. That's a lot of effort.
yes, yeah, yes, yes. And I wonder though, there's like if you talk to the Humane Society or like other animal rights places, if
Mm.
they would like willing to promote your book and stuff, since it is the story of the of Kiva and just
Yeah,
the
but
animal
my book is
behind.
not so much about like kind of a human like a what do you call like a kind of a It's like a combination of like a Mad Max and
Mm, mhm,
what do you say? Like well, I really like the Watership Down. The Watership Down is a novel from the England, and then also the
mhm,
Mad Max. So, but we'll go down by the dogs, and then so it's a lot of bloody stuff. So, I mean, I don't want to make it like a very emotional, like a beautiful human drama.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, no,
it is a part of it, but Kiva is all about this dog is gonna be independent, like from this pet, the pet dog that is become the independent, like stray dogs, and then they're gonna
mhm,
they're gonna fight against all those wild dogs that's already like a stray dogs, and they fight against, and then they find their home to live, type of story, and there's a lot of actions. So
mhm,
I don't know if the humane society
yeah,
people might like it, but there's a definitely the emotional part is a part of the story that but like I mean, if you what I really liked about the world is it's like Chernobyl too. Like like there's all this like animals.
mm,
After the humans evacuate, what's gonna be left is nature, and then nature, these plants and trees that get grow really big, and you start seeing all the animal walking around in the area the way human used to walk, and you start seeing all these animals that you never seen, like very rare bear or rare, what I mean, like
yeah,
monkeys or whatever, because that's true story, and it's just all this like we thought it's distinctive that they all came back, and then it's with and then it's interesting the world in the middle of Japan with a small tiny island. There's so many people. Just a part of that area, there's no human, and it becomes it's like it's a control by the nature and the animals. They rule the place, and that's what I really fascinated about that. Um, and then and the Kiba is the story that kind of takes place in that sort of a special miracle place.
I mean,
Even yeah,
do you find it challenging to, I mean, again, like the first part I read, there were humans in it, but after, the humans leave the story and it's just the animals, is it harder to write for like characters who
yeah. I
yeah,
mean, I was again like I come from the like a live action type of like a
mhm,
video, so
yeah,
I like the reality and the realistic stuff. So it can be that, oh man, the dog should not talk, like I mean, but we need to communicate. We need to show the emotion because otherwise the people wouldn't like their characters, and so we gotta humanize the dogs, but we try not to have a dog talk too much or like
mhm,
more like a very their desire is very simple, and then oh, I'm hungry, I want to eat this, so I want to go there, so that's why I go. There's no super complicated like a kind of relationship like a human does.
mhm.
So try to keep it as simple as possible and the less dialogue as possible. But it's kind of hard. I mean, I have to be honest. Like it's kind of hard to develop animals as a characters.
Yeah, so I
To
mean,
me,
your
yeah,
artist is gonna have to tell a lot of the story, which again, for what the art I've seen, it looks incredible. So yeah, I think you picked the right artist for it. But yeah, you're gonna have to lean heavily on your art
yeah.
to tell a lot of this story. Yeah.
The one thing that interesting about the artist, he never be he lives in Zurich, Switzerland,
Mm,
but he's originally from Iraq,
mm,
and but the Muslim world, the dogs are not like us dogs, like we are like we treat in here. Like, it's a bit different. So he never really had an interest to draw the dogs.
mm.
When he was yeah. So but then I liked his work, and I saw him his drawing with the other animals, and okay, so he must be really good. And so it's actually a first time for him to draw so many dogs. He never really drew dogs
Mhm.
before.
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, he's an amazing guy, for sure. He's not just an artist. I mean, he is an artist. He's not, but also he kind of navigated me to that direction that what the story is gonna walk at the comic book kind of a format. You know.
But yeah, as we're sitting here talking, you were asking me like where, like how to sell it and where to sell it. anytime I walk, I would say go with Barnes and Noble, because anytime I walk in there anymore, it seems like the American comic section is shrinking and the manga section is expanding every time I walk in there. So Barnes and Noble might be the way to go, because it seems like they're doing very well in the manga section there.
But I wanna keep the. I mean, well, when you said a comic book, is that like a superhero type of stuff? Is that what you're
I
saying?
mean, for the
I
most
think this is a
part.
comic book. It's not a manga.
Okay, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I will definitely, yeah,
But yeah, I would go all the routes. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, no, 100%, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of communities. Like if you go online, that should be, all the comic communities are usually pretty supportive with, oh, hey, we like this book, check out this book. So
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Just always like there's not really a like only one answer. Like there's already. I mean, there's a bookstore like you said. That's I think a great ideas.
mhm.
I'm always thinking about like how can I reach out to that many people? Not too much. I mean, of course, if we can sell it, that'd be great. But I mean, I think the most important thing is like a book needs to be read by as many people as possible. And so to do that, like what would be like you said, like like maybe like animal related like association organizations, great. Maybe the library, because the library started having the comic books and like manga sometimes, and then bookstores and even like a college, high school book,
Yes.
comic book, community like clubs and stuff like that. You know, it's a lot to contact, but I think it's something to think about.
And like, just like we were talking, the signings, or even just like if you could find a place just to hold like a little presentation, just talk to people like you're talking to me, and just
Yeah,
tell them this whole story behind it, and yeah.
yeah, that sounds good. I mean, yeah, thanks for that pitch. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll need that. I mean, I guess like since the schedules gets delayed. I mean, the digital copy is already available at the
Mm,
Scout's website, just for the issue one. But the rest of the issue is gonna come out after after the physical book comes out. But since we still have a little time, like maybe like a month or so before the physical book comes out, so we'll do as much as possible to reach out to these places.
all right. Well, then, yes, I will let you go, because, again, as you've told me, you're a very busy man.
Yeah.
You have many jobs.
Yeah.
So yes, yeah, tell everyone again. So where can they go right now, and where can they go when the book comes out? So Scout Comics, is there?
Yes, the Scout comic is gonna. So we have a digital copy of Kiva is already available to purchase on the Scout comic.com on the website, and the physical book is gonna come out in supposedly the end of October. But I have because of the hurricane that
Yeah,
just
it might be
hit in
delayed.
Florida, I think it's gonna delay. I would assume sometimes in November. And then after the first issue comes out, we have a what do you call trade book will be available. That it contains from issue 1 to issue 6 all together. It comes out as a one book. It will be available next year, I believe, January. So yeah, let's stay tuned.
So Scout has a website then they can order that from.
Yes, it's a
Okay.
yep, yep.
And is there anything you want to promote? Any your social media or any?
No, I mean, just check out this kiwacomics.com, and then it has all the social media information, and also the Scout Comics website and everything. Kiva Kiva comics comics.com.
All right.
All right, thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thank you, sir. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And yes, if you want to promote again, like when Volume 2 or anything comes out, yes, please reach out. Let me know. We'll set up another
Thank
chance
you
to
so
talk.
much, Bill.
All
Good
right.
luck.
Thank you, sir. You too.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. So yes, another great interview. And again, Lilith and I talked to Richie Acosta last time. I talked to Motoki this time. So again, as I've said before, it doesn't matter if you're a comic creator with the big two, if you're with a smaller company, if you're out here doing it on your own on Kickstarter. we want to talk to you. We love hearing about your process. We love hearing about your book. So please reach out to us. Again, we love doing interviews with creators. Again, like we said, doesn't matter who you are. We love hearing about everyone's process. So please, if you or if you have a recommendation of someone we should talk to, please let me know. Email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Again, we're very easy to talk to. We're very laid back. And you can find all of our Capes Lunatics stuff, episodes, social media, merchandise. We have T-shirts, we have phone cases, we have all kinds of stuff. We have a Cash App link if you want to be very generous and just give us money. Or we have a Patreon where, again, like I told Motoki, most of our conversations here and on the Capes Lunatics Sidekicks podcast are about comics most of the time. But if you go to our Patreon, my co-host Lilith and I talk a variety of topics. Can be anything. It could be anything in pop culture, or like I was telling Motoki, the Hershey Con we went to this summer, Lilith and I, we did a whole episode on our road trip up there. That was like a 4-hour drive. So again, you get exclusive content only for you. And if you are a patron, you can request stuff for us, topics for us to discuss. So you can subscribe at patreon.com/CapesandLunatics, and you can find all the Capes Lunatics stuff at tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. And if you're looking for any of that info, it's right here on the screen on our video on our YouTube channel, or if you're listening to this on the audio podcast, it is in all the show notes, pretty much every episode we do. So very easy to find. All right, everyone. So thank you for joining us. I always say, I don't know. Next episode. Well, I know we'll have at least one more movie review this year. Kraven the Hunter, of course, because we do the movie reviews for the superhero movies. But again, are we going to have another interview soon here? That's up to you guys. Please, someone reach out. Again, we'd love to talk. All right. So I always feel weird doing this outro by myself. All right. For another week, I have been your Capes, Ampersand, like Charlie, and Lunatics. Like I said, the only definite Capes Lunatics episode coming up here for the rest of the year is the Kraven the Hunter review, which again gets Sony, so we'll see. And again, comic creators, we don't care who you are, what you've done. You've done 50 million books in your lifetime. If this is your first book, please reach out. Always polite. We always be an easy time with us kids. Again, thank you, Motoki. Everyone go pick up Kiva. And good night.